Hello, I am live. This is Sibyl Harmony, and I'm here in YouTube land to answer questions on a Saturday morning, the 27th. So, welcome to my channel. If you're new, we're going to be answering questions. You're going to be able to use your psychic abilities, whether you're watching this on rebroadcast or you enter the live stream. Hi, Joan. Okay, good morning. And so I am Sibyl Harmony. I'm a psychic, a medium, a master healer, and a spiritual teacher. Hi, Lynn. So welcome to the channel. And I'm going to be answering questions. I'm going to be doing healings. Okay, I said that if you're already logged in. So I just wanted a chance to connect with my people, connect with you, welcome you if you're new. And I am inviting you. Hi, Marie. Martin. Yeah, I know you. A lot of you I know. I've done personal readings for you. Suzanne, Forever Blues. Yeah, hi, everybody. From St. Louis. All right. So from Denmark. Suzanne, nice. Yeah, let me know where you're from. Okay. So, like I was saying, I want you to use your abilities. I'm not the grand poobah here. I'm going to answer questions and guide you, but everybody has abilities. Psychic, what does that mean? You're a psychic? Well, we all have intuition. So, how do we get our knowings? New York, California, hi, Joe, Karen, Baltimore. Wow, we got a lot of people here. PA. So, yeah. So, everyone is thinking and feeling. You all have thoughts and feelings. And so sometimes we get a download. People who pray a lot, who are very educated, sometimes just know things, or older souls, they get a download. Everyone has feelings. That's the most common way. Like you just get a bad feeling about something, or you're feeling like, feel like this person is really good for me to be around, or I don't feel good here. We're always getting, that's our GPS. That's, your spirit, your higher self, or your guides or angels keeping you safe. And so we're entering a time where we in society are developing and growing more spiritually. In the last 5,000 years, it's been more about religion. And I'm not religious. I'm not non-religious. I'm all religion and no religion. Okay, if you put it that way. But we're moving out of a time where you have to go through another person to get your answers, to where you develop yourself so you can get your own answers. Wouldn't that be cool? You don't have to, but if you do it in this life, if you develop yourself, and a lot of you are already on the spiritual path, so you don't have to do this for a living or turn into a psychic or an intuitive or a spiritual teacher or a healer, but you want to be able to guide yourself, and you already have that ability. A lot of us just have been, dismissed, or like, how do you know? What are you, psychic? Or it's just your women's intuition. And it is your women's intuition, our knowing. Hi, everybody. Hi, Delphine. So we all have intuition, feelings. Now, you might hear things, you might see things. Actually, if you meditate or pray a lot, or as you awaken, everything around you is a sign. You may get signs from nature, clouds, bumper stickers. You may hear something. You may hear a song and get a chill. So these are all ways that your spirit is helping you connect into your environment and pick up information, which is especially important in this political climate. So what are we doing here? Are we answering, we're answering spiritual questions, and we can answer, political questions. Will Kristi Noem eventually face any consequences? Yes, Samantha, let's look at that. I'm going to put your question up because I do want to look at what's going on in this country. And I was getting a message from her from Spirit today. Whenever I go out, I was walking around my neighborhood and I heard hawks. And the hawks always tell me to pay attention because they're giving me a psychic message. That's one way. That's a shamanic way, the old way. Before we had cards, they would go out into nature. Or even when you had cards, you can still go out into nature and connect with messages. And then I see it in my mind's eye. It's not like I see her right in front of me or what's happening, but I see it in my mind's eye. So play along. If you get it wrong in your answers, it doesn't mean you don't have abilities. It's just the only wrong psychic reading is one that you never did, because you're using that psychic intuitive muscle. And that's what I teach in my classes. So I have some classes coming up with past life regression in November 20, I think it's 22nd. It's going to be really fun. I was trained under somebody who studied with Dolores Cannon. So I know how to do that. So I'll teach you how to connect with how to do a past life regression and take you on a past life regression. It'll be really cool. And I have a healing class coming up next Saturday. So that's going to be kind of a deep dive into the world of dreams and healing. So check those out there on my website. So let's answer some questions, but I have one more thing I need to let you know. My channel was 1,600 subscribers were taken off last Tuesday. So I have asked YouTube to investigate what happened. I have a sense that somebody doesn't like what I'm saying. So a lot of times when you're putting out different ideas or anti-corporation or establishment ideas, people sometimes don't like that. I don't know. So it's hard for me as a psychic, because I'm personally involved, to see what's going on. I do see everything. Even if it's a person, I feel like there's a spirit that affected me. And I could get into a whole big long story about that, but I do see that there was some negative energy, obviously, that affected my channel. So what I want to ask from you all is that if you're a regular viewer, or even someone who just wants to support somebody who's on the path and trying to help our country with democracy, please check your subscribe button. Either subscribe, certainly like, but if you think, yeah, I'm already subscribed, maybe you aren't, because they unsubscribed a lot of people from my channel and I'm having it investigated. I think someone doesn't like me, but I hope I'm wrong. Okay. So, yeah, the home of the brave and the land of the free. Can we have free speech? Can I say how what my truth is? I hope that continues. That's an issue coming up that we'll look at more. But I want to look at Kristi Noem. Eventually face consequences. Let's look at her again, because when I looked at her a couple weeks ago, that's a great question, Samantha. I saw actually bullets going by her head. So that's symbolic to me. Like, I thought, I didn't feel like she was going to get taken out or anything. And I never support violence on this channel. I'm just saying, okay? I'm never supporting that someone should do that, okay? Even though I don't like what she's doing. So I can tell the truth about how I feel about what she's doing, but no, I'm not promoting violence. So just want to be really clear about that in case anybody has any question. But what that is symbolically showing me is that there's a lot of violence happening around immigration and deporting and families being ripped apart, and people being shipped off to foreign countries or disappeared. Hey, David. Hi, Angelina. Hi, Linda, Barbara, Mike. Another Barbara. Hi. Okay, so what I was saying was there's a lot of violence going on in this country. When you tear parents away from children, people can die if they not, you ship them off to a country where they don't know where their family is. They don't, they might be being tortured. They might, people follow the law. They go to court and they get, deported and roughed up. So there's a lot of really violent things happening. And I think I'm preaching to the choir, but I'm just saying that because there's a big news story about a shooting recently, and there might have been some other thing. I mean, there was one immigrant who fell off the roof and died because he was being chased, running for his life from deportation from ICE, and they don't even know it's like a masked person chasing them in a van. So this is actually very dangerous because anybody can put on a mask and drive around and grab you. And we don't know if they're ICE or not. So it's really a dangerous time that we're living in, even for citizens, because they don't ask you for your papers, and maybe they aren't even ICE. They're just grabbing people. Okay. So that's the violence that is now finally being broadcast on mainstream media. Well, it wasn't before. And now there's a shooting and everybody's talking about that. And one side is saying we need to take the rhetoric down, but they're actually doing, when you're destroying people's lives and being very violent, and then you say we need to stop the violent rhetoric. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me, but okay. Let's look at your question. Will Kristi Noem eventually face consequences? I think she's going to have a Botox problem. Sorry, I shouldn't be rude, but I'm almost 68. I'm 67. I do facial exercises. Oh, and I have my little drink here. This is my L-glutamine. Buy a good source. You have to have a good source for your L-glutamine, but it's collagen. Okay. Sorry, got to drink my collagen. And that helps to build muscle. Your face is muscle. So I know she does a lot of Botox. And I don't know if I'm supposed to not say something about who does that, big pharma and Botox. But I think if you overdo it, it's like your face gets puffed up, and then you have to keep doing it to keep your face puffed up. And it just looks kind of fake and weird to me. I think wrinkles are character lines. And if you're old, hey, wear it like a badge. You have your wisdom. You're not, I know it's hard, especially for women, but now men get the Botox too. Like I see these young people like, there's a small thing. Okay. Maybe I'll change my tune when I get older, but I'll never go to, I do facial exercises. Okay. Let's not talk about that. That's really, I don't want to talk about that because it's like talking about the escalator or the teleprompter when you're there supposed to be helping the world, and your message, people are hanging on, any hope message, and you're talking about face toning. Sorry. Let's talk about Kristi Noem facing consequences. So I'm going to pull cards. I'm going to look psychically at her. And you can practice too. Look psychically and tell what you think is going to happen. And be careful. Try to get your own anger out of the way. Just, if you're angry, it can cloud your reading. Breathe. Kind of ground yourself. And what have you been getting? Have you got anything about her? Oh, we're not here to wish harm on people. We're just looking at the energy. We want to be kind of neutral. Come up into the center of your head. Breathe. That's a funny place to be. Like, oh, okay. This is where your third eye is, and where you can be more neutral. You can ask your guides and angel, what will become of Miss Noem? I actually like that last name because it reminds me of elves and gnomes, but I think she's gone on the dark side. Okay, so show me her for, I'm going to say after the midterms, we're almost taking over Congress now. You see that young gal won Arizona. We got 218. They only have one more than us now in Congress. So we still don't have the Senate yet. But let's say from now till well into 2026. When's the election? November 2026, I think. Oh, okay. Let's look at the next, should we say 2 years? Okay. For Kristi Noem. What happened with the thousands of detainees? Okay, I'm going to get to your questions. Let me look at this one. Will she face any consequences? So as I look psychically at her, I feel like she's okay now. She thinks everything's okay now, but I feel like eventually she wants to get out of somewhere. Interesting karma. If you've locked people up, then you feel like you want to get out. Because I feel like she's trying to escape. Like I want to get under a fence, like a chain link fence. And I feel like she's looking behind her at like who's after her, because you've done, you've riled people up and then you're like, oh, they're violent. Yeah. Well, this is a lot of violence that she's created. Okay. So she's trying to get out, looking behind her. Yeah, you got to look over your shoulder. Let me see what the cards say. It's caused a lot of grief. Oh dear. This doesn't look good. Uh-oh. Well, her near future, it might be before 2 years. This is some kind of retreat. She's going to have to sacrifice maybe her freedom. Maybe she gets locked up. Ooh, how would that be for karma? Yeah, the hangman I'm suspended. So it can be imprisonment, put on suspension. You are hereby ordered to stop your illegal activities. This is not a good card for her future. If she were a person of service, this could be like, now it might be like she has to give back to people or undo things she's done. Wow. And then I see her leaving office. This could be some type of restriction or like, because I feel like she's trying to get out. Let me ask, is she trying to get out of this administration? I think she's going to realize when he starts to fall because of the Epstein files and the economy gets worse, she's going to realize, because she's not a complete idiot. She was a governor. She ran a state, although very weirdly. And I don't agree with any of her, most of her positions. She did actually have some type of mental capacity. Whereas like someone like Kash Patel, you wonder like, what is he on drugs? Or is he just crazy? For entertainment purposes only. These are just my thoughts and so I'm going to say she may have to, is she going to leave the country? I feel like she has some type of restriction put on her and then definitely leaving the administration or government. Yeah, let's see. What happens? I saw a question. Why did all the people that I love pass away and leave me down here? Oh. Okay. This realm here is temporary. I'm sorry for your loss. And there is no death, though. We're taught that death is an end and final, but it's not. So I feel like there's a lot of people around you. I feel like there's mothers and mother relatives around. I'm looking over here because I'm looking at an image I've created of you, Linda, over here. I feel like there's a lot of family around you in the spirit world. And when you sometime pass, what's going to happen is you're going to look back and you'll feel like this time went very quickly. You'll remember it like you remember the flu you had, 5 years ago or something. So it may seem like the days are going slow and you're very lonely and you may be in a lot of grief. And I'm so sorry for that. But this is also a time for you to connect and have a relationship with yourself and really tune into your own spirit and move from a place of wounded to wisdom. Because when people die, it changes who we are. It writes on the wall of who we are. And when our grief is dealt with in a way that doesn't shut us down, it may temporarily shut us down. But as we come to peace and acceptance with what is, and that every life has a beginning and an end, and then it starts to look like a different experience for you. And that also this is triggering an awakening in your spirit, because there's nothing like everybody dying that to cause you to have a spiritual awakening. So if you use it like that, I know that my words and my teachings can't fix your pain. And for that, I am truly sorry. I can't fix that. But I do believe you're in a deep grieving and healing process, and that you will see all of them again. But now is the time to develop your relationship with yourself. Instead of looking at it like I'm alone, you're having time for yourself to be with yourself, okay? And to develop your relationship with yourself and or spirit. Okay. There was somebody up here who was asking about what happened to immigrants, and I lost that question. Let me go to, can you please look at MTG of generals with Hegseth? Oh, the meeting of generals with Hegseth next week. This is a huge question. It's a good question. Let me see if I can. So I see them, and I feel like everyone has a spirit guide, especially decorated generals and admirals, that a lot of their spirit guides are with them in battle or when they're making decisions. But everyone has spirit guides. But I see a very clear, like, eagle. Looks like a big bird. It looks like an eagle. And I'm going to say around this meeting that's watching very closely, and the eagle is green. I feel like it's like a peace color. For some reason, it feels like an olive green. And it looks like they're listening to what he's saying very carefully. But let's ask if all of them are going to agree. First, let's ask, what is he doing in that meet? What does he want to do in that meeting? He's still drinking. He's not sober. He's like, I cut it down in half. Okay. But the brain is not clear. Okay. And even if alcoholics are not drinking, unless they've done their work, they've gone to like therapy or group healing or something, AA or something, they still channel, like, there's still like a tornado going through people's lives. And so that's what he's doing it on the national stage now. So he's not he's not a well person, and he's actually continuing to drink, which clouds his thinking even more. And not like, if you're a regular person and you have a glass of wine with dinner, that's not what I'm talking about. But if you're using alcohol to medicate yourself or to deal with life's issues, that's on a case-by-case basis. But I feel like the main problem is him. The alcohol is just a symptom because he can't deal with himself. Okay, but so let's look at, what is this meeting about? It's abuse. There's some kind of abuse happening here. He wants to manipulate. He wants the government to be behind him. He wants to fight and win. What is he fighting? It's all smoke and mirrors. He's coming like, I'm fighting. I'm like, who's he fighting for? Trump? And it's all smoke and mirrors. This is people who are on drugs and alcohol, presenting false scenarios. So let me ask, who is he fighting? What's this meeting about? Fighting, taking over the midterms, or fighting the libs? Is that what this is about? Or is this about some other, like, bombing boats in the Caribbean or something? What is this about? Is this about owning the libs? Yeah, it's all about that. Is this meeting about starting a war somewhere else? Yeah. Yes, and yes. It's about, they've killed people in boats. I mean, I feel like it's all of the above. He wants to just get everybody on his side. And let's look at, are they going to be on his side? I don't think so. But let's just look. Are they going to be on, yeah, we'll back you up, whatever crazy plan you want to do. Are they on his side? Because I feel like he's freaking nuts. He's crazy to start with, without a drink, and then give him a drink and he's a madman. Okay. So, are they going to listen to him and follow him? I don't think so. So, he's trying to control it. Temperance is going to come in. This is moderation and listening to, facts or law. Let's see here. Are they going to listen to him? They're causing a lot of worry and stress. Maybe some. They might be looking for other answers other than him. Like, we're not with our allies. He's going to turn against our allies, our NATO. Okay, that's not good. I feel like a lot of them are going to follow him. Is that a yes? Give me a clarifier. Are they going to do what he says? No, not. He wants to have violence and war, and not all of them. No, they're not going to listen to what he's saying. Oh boy, I hope that helps to calm people. I'm wearing my prayer shawl, so say prayers for our country and for peace in the world. And those fishermen out on boats. Okay, right now, let's see, what? Right now, 45 is sending troops to Portland in order to allow full permission to fire. Full permission to fire? To fire what? Orders to allow full permission to fire. Sending troops to Portland that will fire? Will there be injuries or death? Okay, I guess you mean they're going to shoot at people? Yeah, we're kind of in a WAR right now. Anything to stop the Epstein files from coming out. And I saw a question about that. We're never going to know everything, but drip, 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 more is coming out. Sorry to say this if you're a fan. I'm really sorry, but Mick Jagger was in there. But we have Elon Musk and Steve Bannon are just for entertainment purposes only. Actually, that's not entertainment. Those are facts that came out from the Epstein estate. There's some kind of flight logs or something that Elon Musk was taking a lot of trips, pictures with Maxwell and Elon. And then, of course, Steve Bannon. Who would have guessed that? So sorry if it's some people you like, but we can't just, I know it was a different time, and maybe they, thought, oh, you're 17, it's okay, or there was permission, but I think this was not good. The victims have the story, and the victims, there's too many of them to hide. So most of it will come out. I'm waiting for the thing. I want to ask when it's going to come out about the current president. But let's go back to your question here. Right now, there's troops going to Portland. Will there be injuries or death? You mean in protests, I think? Be careful at protests. I'm not saying don't. I'm just saying, if it feels like it's getting dark, they tell you to leave, they've given you a warning, you need to leave, because this says here, they're gonna fire. Yeah, this is what he wanted in his first term. So now he's up. They are calling protesters domestic terrorists. Oh, wow. Where are you getting this, Forever Blues? Yes. Okay. Where you get this? Because I did not see that. I know it's not on the mainstream news. And I've been trying to get on Blue Sky forever, and I don't navigate social media well. Took me like years to figure out how to do the YouTube. Okay. They're calling them domestic terrorists. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Send our prayers, love and light to Portland. So, will there be deaths and injuries? I feel like there could be. Uh-oh. I feel like there could be. Will there be deaths and injuries in Portland? Yeah, I see something. Somebody somebody injured, or yeah. Yeah. This is not good. There's going to be injury. I don't see like they're just going to start mowing people down, but I feel like somebody goes down. They want to do this. They want to put out the message like, see these crazy lunatic, Yeah. So technically we're in a WAR right now. And I don't think people voted for this. Oh, you heard it on Occupy Democrats. Okay. That's an excellent YouTube channel to I guess it's on YouTube. Let's see, Barbara here. What are you saying? I'm sorry to hear about that. And let's pray for them that they're safe. What's this here? Where was Epstein Island? That's where the crimes took place. Well, not the only place, because there were parties here that whatchamacallit, 45 or whatever you call them, was there. Stateside parties they had here, or some mansion in New Mexico, or places in Mar-a-Lago. I'm wondering, or in Florida. Okay, I'm wondering that the government. And I'm wondering that the government there has different laws for pedophiles, maybe more lenient. That would be why. I don't know where the island is. And even if it took place somewhere else, if you're an American citizen or a European or whoever citizen, a person, wrong is wrong, whether the law in that country is more lenient or not. It's not, they're still, like if I took you across the border and did something to you, that means I can't come back and go, well, in that country, it's okay. Yeah, I think you're still, I still would be held liable. Yeah. I'm pretty sure just because you cross the border or go somewhere else doesn't mean you can, like, I can kill people because in that country they don't have law. I mean, that's a good question, but I don't know where the island is. We're not going to be more lenient here. We need not to be. Okay. Oh, here somebody says, here's the answer. See, you guys are good. You guys, sometimes you know more than me. Little St. John's. I don't want to say the names because I don't want to call that energy. That place needs like healing for centuries of cleansing and purifying. Because whatever violence or dark things have happened on our land, like here we had slavery and killing of the Native Americans. So whatever dark things have happened, Europe, they had the witch trials, World War II, different wars. Whatever has happened, here we had the Civil War on the land. The land is affected and it has karma. The land holds memory. So that place is very dark. Like, I don't understand countries that want to go in and kill everybody, like in Palestine, and then put up a resort there. Who wants to go to a haunted death torture resort? Really? You're going to have fun there? I mean, unless you're a narcissist, I can't imagine. I mean, and I don't think anybody would thrive and do well because that land is now holy, sacred land. It's, because of what's happened there, the land has karma. So, yeah, I don't understand. Like, they don't care. Like, leaders, like the leader of Russia wants to go in and kill all these people and then take the land. Like, that land is now tainted. That's not how you get land. Why don't you just buy it? You could have with all that money. You could have made friends with them and go like, let's bring the Russian culture here. Let's bring our, let's help to, something. But they aren't evolved. Their brains are not, they're like reptilian brains. They're thinking in terms of like, kind of like corporate media here, corporations here. It's like, what's in it for me? How can I get, we are not very evolved spiritually. Do you look at what of a mess we are? That's why all this is happening, because we are very immature, a lot of us, not you, but a lot of the world is, we're developing our technology, but we have not caught up emotionally. And we're like giant toddlers having temper tantrums, starting wars, and not you, but the people in some power places, Okay, let me see here. Yeah, there was a place near Trump Tower. Let's look at this question. Nancy Mace last night on Bill Maher said, victims said the orange idiot was not found doing anything wrong. I don't believe her. I never did. If she does agree to get them released. Oh, I think you're talking about releasing the Epstein files. So I think they're going to have enough. Let's ask if they are going to have enough votes to release the Epstein file, and then is some of the information tampered with or held back, even though they do the vote. Then, well, let's ask, are they going to have enough votes? Then let's ask, is it going to be released? Because just because you vote doesn't mean this, they're like a gangster administration. They don't have to listen to what Congress says. Let's ask, and then will they redact things? So let's ask that 3 ways, because that's going to be huge. for what's happening in this country. I feel like a lot of Congress or GOP is going to quit. MAGA Mike is not going to stay in office when this starts coming out. Okay, so will there be enough votes, 3 cards, for the Epstein files to come out? Will there be enough votes for the Epstein files to come out? Yeah, because Mace does not look happy. I think so. Yeah. Yep. It's going to be a fight. There they are. They're going to try to not confirm that new woman, but they are. They're going to be the votes to release it. What was I saying? Will they then release it? Show me 3 cards. Will the Justice Department then release? Who does that? The FBI or the Justice? Will the government will say release it? Oh, they're scared. That's a yes. Yeah. There's going to be a lot coming out in that. I want to ask, is what's his face? The orange one, 45, going to be in there? That's what I want to ask. Is his name going to be redacted? Is he going to be in there when they release it? Because it's going to come out. You can't hide it anymore. It's going to come out one way or another, and they're just losing their careers over this. The GOP holding it back. So, will 45 be in the released? Will they try to redact his name, or will he be in the released? Remember, I was saying we got Mick Jagger, Steve Bannon, and Elon Musk. Sorry if you like Mick Jagger. I still like their music, but oops. Yeah. Yes, he's going to be in there. Yes, he's going to be. Too many people have seen the files. Yeah. Yeah. Too many people in the FBI and even people who are no longer there have already seen this. They already know. He's going to be in there. Huh. Cool. Hi, Sybil. I heard that troops got sent. Okay, we already saw that question. Okay. What is that? Epstein list is for actual pedophile crimes. We have to prove that beyond a reasonable doubt. Hope we can prove it. Yeah. So, yeah, just because they release it, they're going to say, oh, the Democrats altered it. That's what they're saying now. So, proving it in a court, will 45 be proven in a court of law that he is a pedophile and is in there? Well, 45. Oh, I know who the other one is. There was Peter Thiel, the handler of JD Vance. He's in there. Oops. I thought he looked too young, but apparently he gets blood infusions from his adopted children, which is for entertainment purposes only. I was like, somebody told me that. I was like, a reliable source. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, that's freaking creepy. These people are just disgusting. Okay, so Sorry to say that on this channel, but I don't have evidence of that. Okay, but I trust my sources. Okay, so will 45 be proven in a court of law that he is a pedophile? That's why CK was killed, you know. He started talking about we need to release the files, and then 45 called him and said, don't say that. So he stopped saying that, and then he started saying it again. So, oopsie. Oh, a card just jumped out. Oh, there's a big yes. I don't know when this is going to happen. Will 45 be found to be, because we already know. I mean, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out. I mean, use your spidey sense. We're not a court of law. You have to prove it in a court of law. It can't just be me that says, I think this, or you think that. But will the evidence come out showing that in a court of law that he is a pedophile? Yeah, they're working on it. Yep. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I mean, look, we already know stuff is already out there. We know it, but it has to be official by Congress, announced, and there has to be this big fight, and then it can go to court or whatever. And yeah, because we know it. But do the MAGAs know it? Well, some of them, their world's falling apart. Talk about an awakening. Yeah. What is this? Yeah, it is. It's just heartless. There are people, and it's hard for me to understand that because I don't understand evil or darkness. But especially when I was younger, but I do, as I tapped into my past life wisdom, or as I get older, I'm like, I still don't understand it, but I can see it. There are two different types of people here. There are people who are more compassionate and open, and you can change. Everyone can heal themselves. And people who are inherently on the dark side and may never move past that. One would hope they could somewhere at some time, but that can't be our problem. That's their problem. And sorry to say these things, but this is the world that we're living in, and we need to have, wake up. They want you asleep so you don't know what's going on. That's what waking up is. Part of waking up is about, seeing the truth of what our world is. If we don't see it, we can't change it. And that's what we're in right now. Yeah, I don't understand how they can be so mired in evil either, but there is a dark side. And I stopped a long time ago trying to understand darkness. I don't have a conversation with dark spirits anymore. I don't try to figure them out. It's just they are what they are. And our job is to take care of ourselves and heal ourselves and bring truth and light and compassion, whether you can practice that in your daily life. Like, something happened that I was really happy about. There's a school down the street from here, and I saw a bunch of yellow jackets, and I told them, you should do something and check out, make sure that you don't have a yellow jacket hive here on the property. And they put up a little yellow jacket catcher thing. And I saw that today, and I thought I had something to do with that. If I hadn't have said something, they might not have done that to protect the children there. So there are many ways that we can do good in our life, by giving people praise, by, not judging or not judging ourselves, but holding people accountable and setting boundaries. And, whatever, checking on your neighbor, or letting someone go in front of you in a line, or whatever it is that you do to bring more civility, more kindness into our world. And especially if you're angry. I did a story from Dr. Pinkola Estes, who wrote Women Who Run with Wolves. And I just love that story, The Tiger's Eyelash. And that was a video that I put out last week. So check that video out. It's a great story about what to do when you're angry. Because when we get angry, it's a powerful energy. Even though we're a good person, we don't want to use it to lash out at, children or animals or somebody who has nothing, flip somebody off on the freeway or something because we're angry inside. So I think we need to pay attention to how, to how we express our anger and how we use it to create positive change, or don't beat ourselves up when we're feeling angry or sad or confused. The last thing we want to do is beat ourselves up for that, but more like observe ourselves, look at our, you have a mother would hold a baby that's crying or having a temper tantrum, and you look at what is it that you need? Look deeply into yourself. How can I help you? Because every time you have a better day, a better experience, you don't judge yourself for having feelings or anger about all this stuff, but you also don't want to give your power away by being stuck now angry and sad or fearful all the time because of all of this. Because that's what they want to do. Then they've taken your power. They've stolen your joy. Remember, Kamala said, don't let them steal your joy. That's how. Maybe sometimes we just get back to basics, ground, breathe, practice gratitude. Notice what is working in your life. Pay more attention to your community, your home, your garden, your pets. There's still beautiful flowers and sunshine, so come back to yourself. Maybe take a break from watching all this because it's very dark and it's very insane. And that's the world that we live in right now. And we need to look at it. We need to talk about it. But we shouldn't be, it's like getting an electrical shock. It's like we're being abused on a group level. We're being electrically, get off the roller coaster, get your finger out of the socket. If and when you pull your energy in and you observe silence or become reflective and take time for yourself like that, your energy will recharge. You'll regain your perspective and your health, or things will. So always trying to force something is not the best idea. Sometimes we need to pull our energy back and just get back to basics, ground and breathe, make a good meal, or take a walk, or punch a pillow, or yell with the windows rolled up in your car, not road raging, so that you deal with your anger. Then you can come back and find a place of peace, or even a place of love that is a better place for you to be. They do that in Ukraine. I've heard they're still falling in love. Their country's being bombed, but they're falling in love. They're cooking dinner. They're going to school, maybe underground, but they're still doing it. They're not letting that other country steal their life, their joy, their love. Okay? So that's a good example for us to follow right now. All right, enough of my lecture. Let's answer another question. Yeah, focus on good news, says Cat Mom. Yeah. Let's see what this says. Yeah, they posted files. Oh, okay. Legal AF posted files. Okay. There was something about what happened to 1,000 immigrants. Oh. Will this family get away with the money they've taken? Oh, they got lots of lawsuits. I feel like they're going to be, people are like, properties will be sold off to pay for his debts, to pay for, people who are suing him. I feel like all the American people should sue him. We should all get one big lawsuit because you lied to us. You took our money. You took our health care. You took our immigrants, hardworking families, especially immigrants. I feel like we should all, we are being collectively abused financially and, for entertainment purposes only. That's probably why I got, I want to tell you again while you're all on here. Last Tuesday, I lost 1,600 subscribers in one day. Okay. So did somebody, I don't know. I don't turn my donation button on, so I don't know if you donated money. Thank you. But last Tuesday, I lost 16,000 subscribers in one day. That's like impossible. I was like, yeah, U.S. civil suit. Yeah. Did I say the wrong thing? Is there still free speech? What's happening? They go after bigger people. I'm just a little fish. I'm just some little healer psychic sitting here trying to help people. Why did it, because it takes me a lot of time and energy. I pray and I meditate and I watch the news and I go on walks and I reflect and I take notes. And it takes a lot of spiritual energy to look at this stuff, to look at any spirit energy. And I could have a regular job, but instead I do this because I'm here of service. And a subscription is a small way that's free for you that pays for me to do that for my time. And they took 1,600, not 1,000, 100 subscribers off in one day. So check and make sure that you're subscribed, because just because you subscribed, they might have removed you. I don't know why. I'm having this investigated with YouTube, and hopefully it all works out fine and it was just a mistake. I don't know if I got hacked, but my sense is there's some kind of dark energy, and I was picking up on that. So I hope that I've cleared that and then things get resolved. But I mean, at least I can get taken off the air. Look at what happened to Jimmy Kimmel. But free speech in our country is being affected. And it just, like and subscribe to my channel if you would. It really helps me out. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm going to keep trying to come on at least every other Saturday and do these lives because I really like working with you directly. So I'll see if I can do that. And I have a members that I'm doing. I think it's like $12 or $15 to join my members. You can only join from a desktop or a laptop, but that's going to be today at 12 o'clock Pacific time. And I get on there and I answer questions and we do group healing, we do energy healing. So I'm going to be doing that. I do that every second and fourth Saturday of the month. I also have some classes coming up that are on my website, sibylharmony.com. So check out my past life regression class and my healing class coming up in October. I am booking private sessions for late October or sometime in November, probably. I might have a couple things still left in early October. We'll see. So what is it? The 27th? Yeah. Okay. So, will the money get returned? Will the money be, will he have to pay back all the money he's taken away from the government, from people? He stole. He's stolen. Well, there will be victory. I feel like some is gonna, let's look. Yeah, there's going to be lawsuits. Of course, there are already lawsuits. Yeah, he's caused a lot of heartache and poverty with people. I feel like the general population does not get the money back that he took. from him. Now, lawsuits, personal lawsuits, I see like they'll sell properties off or auction things off. And who wants his properties? They're, like I said, they're tainted land where he did God knows what. The whole White House needs to be fumigated, cleansed, purified. Yeah, but I feel like will our monies and when a new president comes in, we will be restored that way, but not from him. Okay, that's what I'm getting. Okay, and let me answer one more question here. Yeah, I already said that I did a reading last week about MAGA Mike. I feel like he's going to be removed. Who's going to remove him? His own party? Yeah, but he can't deal with this Epstein stuff. I feel like he really wanted to believe his own lies, like he's delusional, believing this president is, oh, he wouldn't have done that. Oh wait, is MAGA Mike have weird, because I always hear people saying he has weird sex stuff. Let's look at him. Does he have like weird sexual stuff? I didn't want to see that. Don't show me that. I don't want to look at that. For entertainment purposes only. And let's keep it G-rated here. So I can't really tell you what I'm looking at. Yeah. Something might be coming out about his own weird stuff. Yeah. He's a kind of a creepy guy. He's got his own, like, I feel like it's in his own family or something. There's some weird stuff going on with him. Is that why? Does he actually believe that 45 is innocent of the Epstein crimes? He wants to. He wants to pretend that everything is okay. It's okay. Jeepers. I think he's delusional within himself about his own behavior, and thinks if you go to church or something, you could do whatever you want, and it's weird. Will they stand? Let's do that. Will Schumer and sorry you're late. Hi, Gloria. Okay, wait. Watch the rebroadcast. Okay. Will Schumer and Jeffries stand firm on the government shutdown? Oh, before I answer this, I just wanted to say that I was on Susan Lynn's show and I said something about Comey, like, well, he lied to Congress. And I thought about that. And that's what the charge is. I'm not surprised that he was, indicted. But I feel like even though he's not my favorite person, I feel like anybody who's being attacked by a rogue criminal regime deserves our because it's like, if it happens to him, it can happen to others kind of thing. And I do feel like he did stand up to 45 when he saw what he was about, and he read him correctly. Even though I don't agree with Comey on a lot of his political views, I feel like it's important that we stand with him. Whatever he said, or it might have been a gray area or something, but I don't really think they have a case. We could look at in another reading whether he's going to be convicted, but I think probably not. Anyway, so I feel like he walks, and I feel like Democrats, he might be a Democrat when this is done. Okay, so will Schumer and Jeffries stand firm? Because what they're asking for is, they don't need just a meeting. They are asking for the healthcare Americans to keep the Affordable Care Act discounts or something, to keep your healthcare more affordable. Will they stand firm on this? Because I feel like 45 wants it to shut down. He does not care. He just wants to fight, and he wants to win. It's all about him winning and him being in control. He doesn't care about the economy or whatever. He cares about his own money and winning. So I'm still surprised when he goes to sports things. Every sports venue boos him. Why do they keep putting him up on the teleprompter? You think you're just going to play loud music? Like, why does he get up there? Why is he even going? Because you're not going to, people do not like you. It's really clear. Okay, so, I mean, it happens everywhere he goes, except for, I think, the wrestling crowd likes him. Yeah. Nothing against wrestling. I'm not a fan, but okay. Kind of a, well, I won't say anything else than that. Okay, so will Schumer's and Jeffries stand firm? They're going to fight. Will the Democrats get the health care costs reduced like they want? They're fighting. Yeah, that's what they want. I do think so. Wow. And you're still going to get your Social Security check. But first I got this. That's a yes. Yeah. This might be Schumer or Hakeem. It's about time they stand up. Stop being a weenie. Like, if you're going to be a weenie, get out of the way. Because this is not the time to write a strongly worded letter to criminals. It's like, yeah. Okay. Well, this has been really cool. Check out my members at 12 o'clock. And I'll try to do this every other Saturday. I think next Saturday I have my class, so I won't be on. But the second and fourth Saturdays. In November, however, I'm going to be out of town doing a group talk, so it might get, the schedule might, but what happens when if I have to reschedule, I'll post on my community page that the members was rescheduled. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. And I really appreciate all your questions and your comments. And I wish I could answer more, but I will be back on. Usually I'm back on Monday, and I'll leave a place on my, yeah, you're welcome. I'll leave a place to post questions for Monday's show, which will be recorded. And we'll see you there. Okay, we'll see you in YouTube land or somewhere soon, a class or something. Bye for now. I'm sending you love. Bye for now.